So hey guys, we're here at Computex 2013, just doing a little day recap. I'm here with Sam. We were recently at the AMD's Experience Zone where Dr. Lisa Su, AMD's number 2, was announcing basically AMD's progression with the APUs and basically where they're heading. So Sam, what is AMD's direction and what can you tell us about AMD's appearance here at Computex?
Well, it was only last year that Rory Reid, their CEO, said that AMD could not beat Intel in the speed game. So Intel's chips for x86 were there, AMD's were there. So AMD had to diversify, and from that came the APU. This APU is a great chip. I mean, it combines a GPU and also a CPU, and it's really creative, it's very unique. NVIDIA, Intel, they can't quite match it. And so this chip rather can be scaled to both a low power, low end device like a smartphone or a tablet, and also a high power device like a top tier gaming PC or a next gen game console. And so from this APU movement, AMD's chips are now in the 2 next gen game consoles, the Xbox One and PS4. So even though at one time AMD looked like it was close to bankruptcy, it was almost finished, great things happened. They diversified, they're a real comeback kid, and I was very impressed by what they announced and what they're offering today at Computex.
And Sam spoke with Matt Skynner today, the VP of AMD and graphics, and this is what he had to say.
So something that you guys highlighted in your keynote was the fact that AMD is now powering these next-gen consoles, the Xbox One and PS4. How will this change AMD's role in the next 4 or 5 years, and what advantages does the company have being the graphics, being the power behind these next-gen consoles?
Yeah, so first of all, we're obviously really excited about working with Sony, Microsoft,
sure, yeah.
Intel. I mean, that's cool. The console success we're using as really a leverage point for success in other markets.
Yeah.
So how do we look at it? We look at games will be developed on, as new consoles come out, games will be developed on the console first. Those games are ported onto the PC. Sure. And so if you go back, whenever games are developed on your hardware,
yeah.
When those port over, they're going to run great on our hardware. And so we hope that it's a better experience on the PC on AMD hardware because of this development path. And that's key. And you saw this when we were first to market with DirectX 11.
Yeah.
All the first DirectX 11 games were developed on our hardware, and we really had a huge advantage, especially at the beginning,
sure.
In DirectX 11 games. And so that hardware link is really important.
Definitely, yeah. Given the fact that both these consoles are x86 powered, do you feel that PC games will be more developed, right? Better looking, because most games are developed for consoles first and go to PC afterwards.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for development in general. I think it's for developers. I think it makes it more efficient. Yeah. Because the base architecture is similar, and so that's very good for them on development costs, speed of porting, and that sort of thing is important.
Okay.
And so I think that's an advantage, and then therefore they can spend more time on making a game look great on the PC, and that sort of thing would be important.
Sure. Now going towards the PC sector, right? What are your primary focuses for your upcoming graphics architectures?
Well, our focus is game. Right, and
yeah.
So I talked in the keynote about why is the gaming market important. It's important because gaming drives our hardware more than anything else, right? So both from a performance point of view, it's the games that really push our hardware, and from the type of features we bring to market. So our architectures going forward are going to focus on really improving that gaming experience.
Okay.
So that's key for us, and we're committed to that going forward.
Now, how do you believe that the Gaming Evolved initiative gives you a leg up over the competition?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One is a focus,
mm-hmm.
and over the past year and a half, 2 years, we've really focused on this as being important to us as we develop this unified gaming strategy.
Yeah.
We have invested in developer relations engineers And so we have what I believe is the best set of engineers that can work with developers.
Sure.
That's important. The other thing is that we want to bring value add to the developers, and a great example of that is TressFX. Is to the developers of Tomb Raider, we brought a technology and we worked with them, and they said, hey, this is cool, let's work together and let's get this in the game and let's make the game look better. And it does. Their crosshair looks awesome.
Absolutely.
And so working closely with them, really as a team, and bringing value add, I think that's the secret of our success there.
Looking at TressFX, who else has committed to using TressFX in their titles?
Well, one of the things I talked today about was the Ruby demo.
Yes.
And Ruby demo is part of that is that it's being done on CryEngine 3. And so, as you know, with game engines, they are leveraged into more games. And so getting it into a game engine is really important because that can be leveraged into future titles.
Sure, yeah. Oh, so going back to desktop gaming, last year you announced the end of your monthly driver refreshes. What were the thoughts behind that, and how has this helped you cope with more frequent game releases?
Well, I mean, our drivers are, Catalyst driver has been very successful for us. We're finding that, we should more release drivers sort of as needed as opposed to on a monthly basis. And so, we continue to do updates with performance improvements, with features improvements, that sort of thing more on an as needed basis than in the past. But we have very frequent drops going forward.
Looking at the enthusiast market then, how does AMD plan to distinguish themselves from the competition, from NVIDIA?
Sure, and so how are we going to distinguish ourselves? One is the focus on gaming. I mean, that's the main thing, right? We think that our unified gaming strategy is something that the competition can't match, and we believe by working closely with game developers, bringing a Radeon gaming solution, leveraging our console wins so that we lead in the console, the client, and the cloud, that we're going to distinguish ourselves. And I think we're doing that.
So why can't NVIDIA match this plan you guys have out?
Because they don't have the opportunities in the console that we have.
Right. I read an article a while ago that claims, now I'll offer the word claims, that NVIDIA does not want consoles because the margins are too low for their liking.
So, I'd say, I can't comment.
Okay, fair enough.
We love the business.
Yeah.
I think, it says they don't want the console business. That's the gaming business. We care about gamers. We want gamers. We want that business. So we just, I guess, have a different focus.
Okay. To tie things up, broadly, what is AMD's biggest defining challenge right now?
I think the challenge always is, executing on your plan.
Sure.
Right? And I talked today about, from a graphics point of view, and that's what I'm really focused on, is we have our unified gaming strategy, and I talked about how we're executing now. We got to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to get any easier. We have a tough competitor.
Sure.
And so, we're going to, I got to continue to fight and continue to execute going forward.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that people were saying that AMD was done. They were close to bankruptcy. I mean, what do you say to those haters from the equity side of things?
I never believed that. I think that we have, we have great IP in this company.
Okay.
From a GPU, from an APU point of view, I think we have a great leadership team, and I think we have a great vision, and I think we're going to continue to prove those haters wrong.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much.
Okay, nice talking.